47 million people on food stamps. That is an amazing amount of money. Now think about that one just alone right there. 47 million people on food stamps, okay? What does that average out to on an annualized basis? If 47 million people are eating, what, 3 meals a day, 365 days out of the year, think about that. Think about that. That is just awe-inspiring. 47 million people are being fed essentially 3 meals a day, 365 days out of the year, and this has been going on and on and on and on. Now, okay, entitlement spending again. Well, people that are using entitlements, that's the 47% that Romney was cited as being a negative statement. That 47% of the country has some kind of government assistance, and therefore they probably not want to listen to his plan because, don't take away what I already have. Well, Romney was misquoted throughout this thing by the Obama administration, out of context all the time, and that's how they do their dirty work. Everything's out of context. What he was saying was that there is a percentile of people in this country, 47, 48%, somewhere in there, that like the status quo. Why change? What's wrong with what's going on right now? Don't change my entitlement. A lot of people don't like change either. I've noticed that because when I used to be in business, for myself now, but when I used to work with other people in business, used to see that quite a bit. I was a manager, and you really see that in employees. Whenever we had some, large change to implement within the corporation, the employees, they just didn't want to hear it. Why change? It works the way it is. This is great. We're doing wonderful. Well, it's all fear, guys, and that's what the Obama group, the Obama campaign cashed in on here, on a lot of these ethnic groups in particular, was instilling a fear of change in these people. These people were told, very underhandedly by the way, and very negatively, that if Mitt Romney was to be elected president of the United States, that they were going to lose their food stamps, that they were going to lose their health care, that Obamacare was going to be repealed and there would not be any replacement for it. Social Security would become a voucher system, and that your retirement, ladies and gentlemen, as you know it right now, is going to be completely upended by Mitt Romney. That is what Obama scared his voters into thinking. And that was his goal. Scare all these groups into voting for me. Don't vote for me based on my agenda. He doesn't have one. His agenda is to create a socialistic country. That's his agenda. I mean, he's not going to come out in the DNC and say, here's my agenda for the future is to make a socialistic state. That's what he wants. But in order to get people to rally around him and vote for him, again, it's the scare tactics. If you don't vote for me, you're losing your Social Security. If you don't vote for me, you're losing your food stamps. If you don't vote for me, you're not getting any more free handouts whatsoever. And to make it even better, if you do vote for me, I'm going to give you some free things too. I'm going to maintain all this stuff for you. I'm going to give you the free birth control. I'm going to give you a free Obama telephone. So how does Mitt Romney deal with that? How does he battle that? How can you deal with that? Well, it's very difficult. When you got one parent over here telling you that you can stay up as late as you want, you can smoke cigarettes, drink beer. There's no curfew for you, and you don't have to study, and you can live here for free and watch TV all day. And then you got the other parent that's a little more strict, saying no, you need to do your studies, you need to make something of yourself. We're going to help you along the way, but it is your responsibility as a citizen to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. You've got these two entities here. What did the populace go to here? They went to the path of least resistance. Okay? They went to the path of least resistance, or the easy way. Mitt Romney, in his presentations, was instilling a work ethic in people, that he wanted to get rid of all the government interference so that small businesses can grow, give them tax incentives to do so, repeal Obamacare because that kills small businesses like you wouldn't believe, and we'll get into that in another show sometime. But repeal that, and so that small businesses have incentives to hire people and incentives to give raises to people. Okay? Did Obama ever talk about that? Work ethics, anything like that? Not one iota. Did he ever talk about that? All he did talk about was, education for the future. Education for the future. Education for the future. I don't know how many times he said that. Probably 100 times or better. Well, I honestly don't believe that our educational systems right now need a complete scrutinization. Okay? We've got fairly good educational systems out there. All right. The problem is there's no job to go to after you graduate. And it's amazing at that last debate, that town hall debate they had, I'm sitting there watching this and I'm like, okay, the largest issue facing the country right now is lack of jobs. And what does Obama say when somebody in the audience asks him about what they're going to do about that? And out of his mouth comes, we're going to make sure that we're getting people educated for the jobs of tomorrow. Well, we all know that his jobs of tomorrow are, those are the green energy things. Those are the windmills, biofuels, all that nonsense that we're 2 generations away from using in a practical sense. Okay? Now that's what comes out of this, man. Okay? And possibly some college-age people saw through that as well, because one of the demographics, or one of the things I saw in this poll, was that 55% of college postgraduate students, okay, voted for Obama. Okay, well, that's the demographic that goes to the Ivy League schools, where liberalism is taught. It's right in your face. It's there every day. Okay, but people that had some college or completed like 4-year degree of college, it was interesting, and they actually tilted more toward Romney. So that was an interesting demographic there. But the other side of the coin is the age thing. Okay, when you look at the age thing, registered voters ages 18 to 29. Male, female, didn't matter. It's all thrown in together. 60% was Obama. Okay, 30 to 44 years of age, 51% Obama. 45 to 64, also 51% Obama. Okay, so it's pretty interesting. And of course, the 65 plus was 55% Romney. So that was very interesting. Very interesting. But that's the thing. I mean, the point I'm getting at here, folks, is that, an education without a job is fertility. That's stupid. Okay? You need to work on getting jobs first. Okay? We get jobs out there. We get small businesses growing. They hire people. They set up new locations. They grow. They get internet sites to do all these things. They hire people. They need people trained for this and this and this. Those are the jobs of today. Okay? Because, see, a guy in the unemployment line today doesn't need a job of the future. He needs a job of today. That's how he's going to feed his family, you see. But in the Obama program, well, if you can't feed your family, I'm here for you. I'm going to give you free government assistance. We don't want government assistance. Who wants government assistance? You know, anybody in this country, I think, that's got some kind of pride in themselves and their family couldn't settle for that kind of thing. Now, obviously, there are people out there that do. We all know there's the lazy bums and contingency out there that as long as they're getting the free handouts, they're going to keep getting it. We're going to try it. They're going to get it as long as they can until someone boots me and tells me I can't anymore. Okay? Then they move on to the next entitlement. I mean, there are some folks that, completely use up the unemployment insurance entitlement and then move on to the welfare entitlement program. So, it's a progression kind of things that some of these folks go through. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that everybody out there wants to be like that, but there is a demographic in the population out there that does do those things. Then there are the people out there that honestly lost their jobs because of the Obama administration that do need a hand up, and that would be the unemployment insurance. And I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Okay? Someone who's busting their butt out there day after day after day to make this country better. And because of Obama's practices, or lack thereof, of any job creating skills whatsoever, or any plans to do anything about it, where more and more people are losing their jobs, yes, they do deserve some unemployment insurance because of that. Well, listen, folks, I think we're going to take a break here. When we get back from the break, more on how did Obama get reelected. Welcome back to the program. This is Tommy Mack with Tommy Mack's Conservative Nation Radio. Glad you could join me here today, guys. Well, we've been talking about the election here on basically how did Obama get reelected. And as you remember earlier in this show, I was talking about fear, and I think that's what it really boils all down to. When you can put all this other stuff aside, put aside the male female, put aside the ethnic vote, put aside the gay lesbian vote, put that all aside. Okay, when you scare people, they're going to do what they need to do to feel safe. Okay, that's what happened here. Mitt Romney offered a vision out there of hard work and change to make this country better. Okay, people don't want change. Change is scary. That's scary. What if Romney changes Social Security and it fails? Okay, what if Romney changes the food stamp program and that means I don't get it anymore? What if Romney changes any of these entitlements out there? See, there's fear there. Our current programs, entitlement programs, have track records. We've seen it. Okay, my grandparents were on it. Their grandparents were on it. Prior to that, we didn't have it. Prior to that, it was FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and the New Deal that put the majority of these entitlement programs in place. Social Security in particular. Now, I'm not against Social Security. Nobody's against Social Security. Okay, that's something that we've all paid into. The problem here is with that particular entitlement is that was designed so long ago that the average lifespan of somebody after they retire was about 10 years. Okay, so this person would be collecting that insurance program for about 10 years of their life, Social Security. Okay, well, if they paid into the program for 20, 30 years and they only use it for 10 years, that makes sense financially. Okay, the problem now with Social Security is people are living way longer than they used to. Okay, so somebody retiring at age 65, okay, in a lot of cases these days are living to be 95 years old. Okay, now we're talking about what, 30 years? 30 years longer than from the day they retired of living. Okay, So that means that in the past they lived about 10, they used it for about 10 years. Now it's 30. There's 20 more years of usage coming on out there in a lot of cases. Okay, the longer people live, the longer they stay on Social Security, and the longer they drain the system. Okay, well, that's the whole issue here. Okay, the money that person paid into prior to their retirement was used up a long time ago. Okay, long time ago.